keep, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. You are a way maker, miracle, you're the promise, the light in the darkness, my God, sing that is who you are. You are a way maker, a miracle worker, promise me, you're the light in my heart, my God, that is who you are. You are a way maker, you're the promise, you're the light in the dark, my God, sing that is who you are. Oh, you are here, standing in our midst. I worship you, we worship you. You are here, moving in this place. We worship you, we worship you. You are here, turning lives around. I worship you, God, I worship you. Keep singing. Listen, it's real hard sometimes, even standing in the midst, when you just want to worship and so many distractions are around, so many things pulling at you. But God is waiting, saying, I'm here, just give it to me. You are here, mending broken hearts. I worship you, how I worship you. Everybody say you are a way maker, miracle, you're the promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. You are promise keeper, light in the darkness, oh God, that is who you are. You are a way maker, miracle, in the midst of a storm, when I'm confused, my God, so that is who you are. You are a way miracle worker, promise keeper. Sometimes it doesn't feel good, but say that is who you are. Even when I say it again, say it again, say it. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop, you never stop working. You never stop, you never stop, oh Lord, you never stop. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop, you never stop, God, you never stop working. You never stop, you never stop. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop, you never stop working. You never stop, you never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop, you never stop working. You never stop, you never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, Promise keeper. Come on, if that's your testimony, lift your voice today. My God, that is who you are. Yes, Lord, you always make miracle worker. Promise keeper, like my God, that is who you are. One verse and we'll get to the message. You are here and you're turning lives around. I worship you. I worship you. You are here and you're meeting broken hearts. I worship you, Lord. I worship you, all because you always make a miracle worker, promise keeper, like my God, that is who you are. Yeah, Lord, you've been a way maker, miracle worker, promise keeper, like my God, that I feel like somebody needs this today. Lord, you are here and you're standing in our midst. Lord, we worship you. We worship you. You are here and you're turning our lives around. Yeah. Worship you. Lord, we worship you. We thank you today because you are a way miracle worker, promise keeper, like my God, that is who you are. Yeah, Lord, you are a way maker, miracle worker, promise keeper. Yeah, my God, that is who you are. Come on, I want everybody to sing. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop, you never stop working. You never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop, you never stop working. You never stop, you never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop, you never stop working. You never stop, you never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop, you never stop working. Come on, let me hear that. Even when I don't see it. Come on, I know we can do better than that. Come on. Come on. You never stop. You never stop. Come on, tell God even when. Lord, even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop. You never stop. Come on, everybody, lift your voice. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop. You never stop working. You never stop. Miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. Miracle worker. Come on, don't stop clapping yet. If you found him to be a good God, come on. Put your hands together like the devils did in the spirit. Amen. If God has done something for you that you couldn't do for yourself, come on, let's celebrate our great God today. Amen. Some of us have been through some things this week that should have taken us out, but for the grace of God, we're here. We're looking where you don't even look like what you've been through this week. Amen. Is there anybody here that can testify that down through the years, God has been good to you? Amen. We're glad to be in church today. God did not have to do it, but we are so thankful and so grateful that He did. Brought us here one more time. Amen. Amen. One more time. Millions didn't make it, Mike, but I'm one of the ones that did. We are thankful for that. The hearse wheels keep rolling, carrying those to that celestial city. But we're still here, yet among those that are trying to get it right down here. We thank God for just another day on this side of the ground, standing on top of the soil. The soil's not on top of us. Amen? Amen. Anybody just glad to be in church today? Out of all the other places you can be glad to be here right now in this moment, experiencing the presence and the power of God. Let's give it up for our music ministry today. Week in and week out, especially our music minister and how he leads us into the very presence of God. It's not easy to do what he does. Anybody can get up and say, turn to number 459. All having let us sing and some lady in the back take over your song. But to lead us into the very presence of God through music, we thank God for what he does to it's not easy to do this, and then as he works with the music team and how they get all their parts and all of that stuff, that's not easy. And when you're a musical person, you get real picky about notes and all that stuff. But we thank God for what he does week in and week out. We thank God for our music team. We thank God for everyone that's led us thus far. It makes preaching so much easier when the atmosphere is set right. Amen. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I've been to some churches like preaching in a freezer and a cemetery at the same time. Yeah, fishing in an empty pond. But it makes preaching come so much easier when the atmosphere is right, when we come in ready to worship. Amen? Amen. Did anybody come today ready to worship? Anybody come to experience God today? Amen. Amen. Real quick, before we get into the message, we make a couple of quick things. We want to be in constant prayer for Brother Richie Allen and his family. Yesterday, we laid his brother to rest, James. His brother was called to sleep last Sunday. So we were with him yesterday, celebrating his life. We want to continue to pray for him, his family, especially for his mother, and during this time of transition. Also, we want to be in special prayer for the family of Sister Annette Chapman out of Jacksonville, Florida. Some of you may or may not be familiar with her, but Renette was the queen of acapella gospel. She had a phenomenal voice. As a matter of fact, years ago, when Sylvia Rose wrote a lot of songs, Renette was the voice that sung a lot of the solo parts. Her journey ended on this side. She's been battling with a rare form of cancer for the past few years, and God decided to bring her on back to the house on Tuesday. So she was very special to me. In my ministry, even as a teenager, she would call and encourage me as a younger preacher. And
I was looking forward to bringing them here very soon and praying that she would be able to come. But God saw fit to do something else. So we want to be in prayer for her. Her funeral will be this weekend in Jacksonville. We also want to be in prayer for anyone else that has lost loved ones, that's still grieving, still hurting. Grief doesn't just come with death, it comes with loss. And so we want to be in prayer for those that are dealing with grief from areas of loss. Sister Keisha, she is in the back working media. She's still faithful, doing everything we need her to do, but there she still has her days. And we want to continue to be in prayer for her and for everyone in our family who there is an empty chair at the table now. There's a voice that has been silenced by time. Also, we want to keep those that are sick in our prayer. Glad to see Sister Evelyn back today. Amen. She had the flu. I told her stay home. We don't want you to get nobody else sick. Amen. And she obeyed those that have rule over her. Amen. 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 I heard she was trying to get out to go see Richie then, and I called and I said, "What you doing?" And she said, "I'm at the house." I said, "Good, stay there." She said, "I ain't leaving till Thursday." I said, if you don't feel no better, make sure you stay home. I'll come get it and take it over. But we're glad to see her back today. And also Sister Terry is back. Terry was sick last week and she infected Richie. I told her yesterday, I said, "I heard you been getting people sick." She said, "No, it was just a person." I said, "Well, that person is people." Richard came here and still led worship last week, and he was dapping everybody with his elbow so he wouldn't transfer no germs. But we're glad to see y'all back today. Make sure y'all wash your hands during this time, the weather changing and all of that. Practice safe precautions and all that. We want to stay healthy. Amen. Everybody ain't clean. Amen. My grandma used to say, you don't go to everybody's house because everybody ain't clean. Make sure you washing your hands, get you some hand sanitizer and all of that. Amen. Amen. We want everybody to stay well. We want everyone to stay well. Next Sunday is what Sunday? That was 3 of y'all. Some of y'all knew. Okay, I got it. Next Sunday is Vision Sunday. We want everybody to come. Next week we will be casting the vision for this year, and we want everyone to be here next week. For that, it won't hold you long. We won't have Bible class next week. We'll try to keep it very brief after we finish with the morning service. Also, Kenny had some surveys for the music ministry, and so continue looking at those, filling those out. I want you to turn those in next week. If you don't have a survey, let us know so that we can get those things to you. Also, make sure you pick up your church directory in the back. Not directory, calendar, but verify your information for the directory and all of those things. With Tasha and Kiki, you gonna be back? No, Kiki's selling stuff. Tasha will be back there with somebody else, so make sure you see them on the way out today. Leaders, don't forget the meeting today after class will not be long. I just want to do a quick meeting today. Where's Brandon? Brandon in the middle. Brandon Cochran yesterday along with Mike and Jeff. What? Jeff. Right? Check on Jeff. Jeff, we doing stuff. You like that little boy with that fish. Anyway, Brandon Cochran, Mike, Jeff, Brother Jack. Where's Chris? Chris and Philip. Yeah, all y'all back there together. They work with our young guys. Y'all stand up, fellas. Y'all stand up. Half of them sleep. Don't they look good, y'all? So yesterday, y'all, hold on, don't sit down just yet. Yesterday, Brandon and Mike, Chris, Philip, and Jack, all of them worked with our young guys yesterday. Because they're not only the church of tomorrow, they're the church of today. And so they're working with them. And they made some agreements yesterday that they were going to sit in the front that they weren't going to be on their phones, that they were going to be participating in worship. Yeah, come on. Give it up for these boys here. I'm excited. She just wanted to come up, man. We want you to come. We'll tell you about it because we wasn't here. But we thank God for them and for what He's doing through them. And I want you guys to encourage them in the days to come. Let's hold them accountable. Let's hold their arms up. Let's encourage them. Let's be there for them as we try to empower them and educate them so that they don't end up being a statistic. Yeah. Amen. Thank y'all. Don't worry, baby. I'm gonna get them after church for you. Okay? I'm gonna make sure I get them just for you. But we thank God for you. Thank y'all for being here today. Thank y'all for being participants in worship. We thank God so much for you. Listen, parents, if one of your boys is over here, this is what I want you to do. Every time they're supposed to be here, make sure they are. Amen. Let me try it again. Every time they're supposed to be here, make sure they are. Amen. One more time. Every time they're supposed to be here, make sure they are. Amen. Most of them don't drive, so we can't fuss about them not coming if you don't bring them. Amen. Well, y'all ain't saying nothing. Right. Add more time to the sermon. But listen, I'm proud of them, and I want them to continue this. They don't have to be in the streets. They don't have to be a number. There's much work for them to do here. And you know how y'all be talking. Wonder what's wrong with them and all that stuff. But we have some wonderful young men here that need to be poured into. They are empty pitchers ready to be filled. And so that's what we want to do. All right? Is that all right? Thank you, fellas. And if your mama didn't want to bring you, just call me. I'll come pick you up. All right? Please don't eat in my car. We'll get it clear. Yeah. I said I'm serious. You can eat this, crackers or something like that. But seriously, whatever you need, if mama busy, if daddy busy, just holler at me and we'll make sure that you're here because we want to see you be successful, all right? And then I got a couple of fellas that drive, so, y'all drive good. I don't know about you. You sure you drive good? Okay, all right. And maybe, if your mama will let you out to pick up the young ones. That way, these big brothers and all that. Anyway, we'll talk about it later. Mark chapter 10 this morning. Mark 10. Y'all all right? Mark 10. Mike ain't got much time today. I ain't got much time today. Mark chapter 10. Mark chapter 10. Y'all all right? Y'all ready for the word this morning? So glad to see y'all in church today. I'm glad to see y'all in church today. Some folks told me they was going to make it to church. I'm so glad you did. I'm so glad you did. Amen. 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 Mark chapter 10, beginning at verse 46. Today I'm reading from the Thundering Diction of the King James Version. Mark chapter 10. 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 Y'all there? And they came to Jericho. And as he went out of Jericho with his disciples and a great number of people, blind Bartimaeus, the son of Timaeus, sat by the highway side begging. And when he heard that it was Jesus of Nazareth, he began to cry out and say, Jesus, thou son of David, have mercy on me. And many charged him that he should hold his peace. But he cried the more a great deal, Thou Son of David, have mercy on me. And Jesus stood still. Man, I thought y'all would have said something. And Jesus stood still and commanded him to be calmed. And they called the blind man, saying unto him, Be of good comfort. Rise, he calleth thee. And he, casting away his garment, rose and came to Jesus. And Jesus answered and said unto him, What wilt thou that I should do unto thee? What wilt thou that I should do unto thee? What wilt thou that I should do unto thee? The blind man said unto him, Lord, that I might see my sight. He said unto him, Lord, that I might receive my sight. And Jesus said unto him, Go thy way, thy faith hath made thee whole. And immediately he received his sight. Watch this. And followed Jesus in the way. I want to take this text this morning, if I could just get loose. If I could just get loose, you may have receipts. Lord, we thank you for another expression of your loving kindness toward us. We thank you for this day. We thank you for this moment. And I pray now, Father, that you would speak to our hearts. Give us the word that you have for us today that will make our lives better. It's through Jesus that we pray. Amen. What would you do if there was nothing standing in your way? What would you do if everything that you have been praying about, if those prayers were finally answered? If you woke up in the morning and you had an abundance of money in your account that would eliminate all of your debts and bills, what would you do? If you received a call this week, Sister Barbara, from the doctor, telling him that you are the perfect picture of health, and that you ain't got to worry about any more sickness anymore in your life, what would you do? If that person that's been getting on your nerves at the job, all of a sudden became your best friend, and was everything that you needed them to be so that you could be a great employee, what would you do? Literally, if there was nothing standing in your way, fellas, if you didn't have to take no more tests in school, but they just gave you your diploma, passed you to the next grade, moved you on through college, all of those things, gave you the best job, what would you do? I got a question this morning. What would you do if you could just get loose? Some of us have come in here today, perhaps all of us have come in here today, and Sister G, we're plagued with problems. There's so much that we want to do. There are so many things on the horizon that we want to accomplish, but it seems like we can't do it because we are bound. And I wonder today, what is it that we could accomplish as a church? What could we accomplish as a people? What could we accomplish as a community? Literally, if we could just get loose. Do I have any help in the room today? For many of us, everywhere we turn, everywhere we look, it seems like there's a problem here, there's a problem there. Seems like we cannot find up from down, forward from backward, right from left. It seems like there's trouble on every hand. We're wondering, Lord, how can I get through this? I just want to get loose. Perhaps there's somebody that can identify with me this morning that life has been difficult, life has been tough, life has been rough, and I just want to get loose. I'm tired of the sickness. I'm tired of the heartache. I'm tired of the headache. I'm tired of all of the things that I've been through. Today, Lord, I just want to get loose. Y'all got time for it today? Amen. Perhaps you can identify with this man by the name of Bartimaeus this morning that we meet in our text. Y'all got time for it? Here it is. Number one, this man is hindered by his hurt. He is hindered by his hurt. He is hindered by his hurt. Would you say that with me this morning? He is hindered by his hurt. Say it again. He is hindered by his hurt. One more time. He is hindered by his hurt. Watch this. Bartimaeus is a man who is sitting by the highway side begging. Literally, he is a blind man. He's a blind man, which means that his entire world is dark. Don't miss it this morning. Even in daylight, it's still dark. Even when the sun is shining as it is today, it's still dark. When he wakes up in the morning, it's dark. When he goes to bed at night, it's dark. As he navigates throughout his day, everywhere he goes, it's dark. Everything that he sees is nothing but darkness. And I wonder, is there anybody in the house today that can say, I've been just like Bartimaeus. I've lived in a world of darkness. I've traveled through days of darkness. I've experienced seasons of darkness, and it seems like every time I turn around, there's nothing but darkness. Every time I try to look for positivity, I can never see the light at the end of the tunnel. There's nothing but darkness all around me. I have my eyes open. I'm looking for something, but I can't see anything because all around me is nothing but darkness. Am I by myself this morning? Been days that you have seen nothing but darkness. And watch this. Not only does he see nothing but darkness, but he's blind, but like he's also broke. Y'all ain't gonna talk to me today, huh? He got a handicap, but he also ain't got no money in his pockets. Literally, the entire dependence is on everybody else. And whatever he gets from day to day has to come from outside resources. Literally, he's blind and he's broke. He has to beg. He has to beg for better. Literally, whatever he gets that he believes is going to make his life better, he has to beg for it. And may I submit to us today, children of God, that there are people who are doing the same thing. They may not be on the street corners with a brown sign with Sharpie writing, but there are some people even in this church who are begging for better. Can I be honest with you today, child of God? That's the reason why some folks smoke weed, because it's a quick way to get a vacation. You ain't got to go nowhere. They're literally looking for better. I ain't got no help in the room today. That's the reason why some folks drink all of their problems away, because I can't afford to go here, I can't afford to go there, but this bottle makes me feel a whole lot better. Y'all ain't gonna help me today, huh? Y'all gonna make me fish for a witness a long time, but they making me work hard today. That's the reason why some folk have multiple partners. They're chasing a certain high. They're chasing this, chasing that, and trying to find some type of gratification. But every time it may feel good for the moment, but as soon as it's over, now I'm regretting everything that I've done, all because I'm trying to feel better. Literally, he's begging for better. He wants to be better, but he doesn't know literally what better is. And it might have something to do, Sister Jackie, with what his name is and the picture that he sees of himself. Watch this, watch this, watch this. His name is Bartimaeus. Malcolm, his name is Bartimaeus. You want to know what that means? I'll tell you this. Bartimaeus, Bar means son. Timaeus means nothing. Let me try you again. Westbrook. You play ball like Westbrook? Oh, you give me your schedule. I'll come till you came. I don't want to. Yeah. No, you don't do it. Okay, we don't play like that, Westbrook. Okay. Right. Still give me the schedule. I'll still come. Watch this, man. His name means son of nothing. Watch this. Watch this. It literally means the son of Timaeus. His daddy was a no good man. His daddy was probably an evil man. His daddy was probably a messed up man. So literally, when the people look at him, they don't judge him based off of what he will be. They judge him based off of what his daddy was. Literally, when people look at him, they don't see him with potential. They see him with a past. Y'all in the house this morning? Literally, he is messed up, but he has been destined to fail because he don't even know who he is. He's been destined to fail from birth because he's named after his daddy. He's the only thing that he has to live up to is what his daddy was, which was nothing. And perhaps there's somebody in the house today that feels like you come from a rough history, you come from a rough past. You've been wondering, how in the world am I going to get through this? I'm trying to get better, but when people look at me, all they see is my family history. All they see is the hood that I come from. All they see is what I used to be. They don't see my potential. All they see is my past. He's hurt by his hang-ups. He's hurt. He's hindered by his hang-ups, by those handicaps, those things that are holding him back. But may I encourage you today, child of God? I encourage you today, don't allow your past to stop you from reaching your potential. Don't allow what you have been through to stop you from getting where God is trying to take you to. Y'all all right this morning? So he's hindered by his hurt. Watch what happens. The text says, as he sat by the highway side begging, he heard that is Jesus of Nazareth passing by. And what does he begin to do? He begins to cry out and say, Jesus, thou son of David. No, he didn't do it like that. He didn't do it like that. That's talking like he had sense. He hollers to the top of his lungs. He said, Jesus! No, still not right. He cried, Jesus! Thou son of David! Have mercy on me. Okay, y'all, let me help you. Jesus, thou son of David, have mercy on me. Jesus, thou son of David, have mercy on me. I'm trying to hurry and get through this. Number one, he's hindered by his hurt. And his hurt is so bad that number two, it makes him holler for help. It's simple today, y'all. I ain't got nothing real deep for you. It's real simple. Number one, he's hindered by his hurt. Number two, it makes him holler for help. Number two, it makes him holler for help. Can y'all say that with me today? It makes him holler for help. Do it again. It makes him holler. Come on, one more time. It makes him holler for help. His situation is so bad that he screams to the top of his lungs, Jesus, thou son of David, have mercy on me. Now, I've got some issues with this. I've got some issues with this. Man, why are you hollering so loud? You're a blind man. What is it that you've heard about Jesus that's making you holler so loud? You ain't never seen this man. You don't know what he looks like. You ain't never been around him. You ain't smelt him. All you heard is that it's this man, Jesus of Nazareth. What is it that possibly he could have heard that makes him cry out to the top of his lungs? Perhaps he heard about the woman who had the issue of blood, who had been sick for 12 years. She didn't have no conversation with Jesus. She just went, touched the hem of his garment, got healed, went on about her business. Perhaps he heard about the man who was possessed by thousands of demons, who was cutting himself in the cemetery. And he said if he could do something for his situation, then perhaps he could do something for me. Perhaps he heard about the buffet that he opened on the side of the mountain with 2 fish, 5 loaves of bread, fed 5,000 men, their wives plus their children. If that wasn't miracle enough, they had more leftovers than they had ingredients. And he said if he could do something for them, then perhaps he could do something for me. Perhaps he heard about the funeral procession that was on their way to the cemetery. A mother lost her son. Jesus stopped the procession, knocked on the coffin, told the boy to get up, and said if he could do something about his situation, then perhaps he could do something for me. Why y'all ain't talking to me yet? Perhaps you heard about Jesus. You heard about he did something for Big Mama, Big Daddy, how he could be a way out of no way, how he could be a bridge over troubled water, how he could be a doctor when you're sick, a lawyer when you're in trouble, and you said perhaps he could do something for everybody else, but he could do something for me. Listen, this blind man couldn't see Jesus. He was handicapped, but he did not allow what didn't work to stop him from using what did work. Literally, he can't see him, but he can cry out to him. He's heard about him, and based off of what he's heard about him, he says, I need to cry out to him because I believe he can do something for me. Don't allow what don't work to stop you from using what does work. You know, when you really don't want to do something, you can find every excuse why you shouldn't do it. But when you want to do something, you find everything. You make some stuff work. You get up earlier, you go to bed later, you pull from this, you pull from that, just so you can make that thing work. Come here, child of God. Don't allow what does not work to stop you from using what still does work. Can I drop off some relationship advice to you? Ain't nobody ever too busy. Okay, y'all ain't saying nothing right up to there. Ain't nobody ever too busy. No, it just wasn't your time or your turn. People make time for it. Yo, when I was in undergrad, Mike, when I was at Southwestern, there used to be a crackhead named Steve that would wash our cars. Now, I don't know how Steve did it, because we ain't had no hose, pipe, or nothing like that. Steve washed our cars for $5, and I promise when he finished, it looked like he came off the showroom floor. I don't know how Steve did it with no water. He ain't moved my car. When we would come out, it wouldn't be no water up under the car. How he did it, I don't know. But Brandon, all I know, my car got real clean. He made that thing work, y'all. That's what I'm trying to tell you today. You just got to learn how to make some stuff work. Use whatever you have to make it work. So he begins to holler. His hurt is so bad that he begins to holler to the top of his lungs. And he says, Jesus, thou son of David, have mercy on me. Now, maybe your situation hasn't gotten that bad yet, where you don't feel like you need to holler for no help. But may I submit to you today, children of God, that every now and then life will put you in a place that it will make you cry out to the top of your lungs, Jesus, have mercy on me. Now watch what happens. I told you he's blind. He's broke, he's begging. But watch this. When he cries out for Jesus, when he doesn't say, give me money, he cries out for mercy. Let's try it again. Says God, he's blind, he's broke, he's begging, but he don't cry out for Jesus to give him money. He says, Lord, have mercy. still ain't saying it. Brother Jack, this man is blind. He's broke. He's begging. But when he cries out, he don't say, give me some money. He says, give me mercy. Is there anybody in the house that can testify? There are some things that money can't fix.
Yes, sir.
He cries out not for money, but for mercy. Because he believes that Jesus can do more with mercy than man can do with money. He begins to holler to the top of his lungs. But can I drop something else on to you? I'm going to hold off on that. Listen. One of the reasons why I believe he's hollering so loud, the text teaches us, Barbara, that it's interesting. It's real interesting. Jesus is on his way out of Jericho. He's come to Jericho. He's leaving Jericho. When he leaves Jericho, he's going to Jerusalem. When he leaves Jerusalem, he's going to the garden. When he leaves the garden, he's going from judgment hall to judgment hall. When he leaves judgment hall, he's going to Calvary. When he leaves Calvary, he's going to the grave. When he leaves the grave, he's going to glory. Let me try it again. When he leaves Jericho, Trellis, he's leaving from Jericho going to Jerusalem. When he leaves Jerusalem, he's going to the garden. When he leaves the garden, he's going from judgment hall to judgment hall. When he leaves judgment hall, he's going to Calvary. When he leaves Calvary, he's going to the grave. When he leaves the grave, he's going to glory. Try it one more time. When he leaves Jericho, he's going to Jerusalem. When he leaves Jerusalem, he's going to the garden. When he leaves the garden, he's going from judgment hall to judgment hall. When he leaves judgment hall, he's going to Calvary. When he leaves Calvary, he's going to the grave. And when he leaves the grave, he's going to glory. So come here. He ain't coming back to Jericho no more. If Bartimaeus misses him today, that means that he's missed his moment, because Jesus ain't passing that way no more. And so literally, because he can't see, he has to holler to the top of his lungs, and he believes, since I can't see him, if I make enough noise, then he'll see. I can't afford to miss him today. I can't afford to miss my moment today. And perhaps there's somebody who's come in church today. You're on your last leg. You're at your wit's end. And you come in here today because if you didn't make it today, you might not have made it to tomorrow. So you come in here today trying to get a word from God, trying to get something to fix your problem. And you just said, if I can make it to church, perhaps they'll sing something. Perhaps I'll hear a word. Perhaps somebody will give me a kind word, and it will give me enough strength so that I can keep on moving. You don't know what I went through last night. You don't know what it took for me to wake up this morning, put on my clothes, try to put on a smile, but I got to come in here and look at your cockeyed self and look at you talking to me crazy and talking about how I look, how I sound. Baby, you don't know. God woke me up this morning, and because he gave me a new start and a new chance, I figured he still had a purpose for me. And because he still has a purpose for me, because he hadn't given up on me, I can't give up on myself. So he begins to holler. He begins to holler. But watch this. Watch this. I had to cut across the field. Try and find my exit. We got to get out of here. He says, Jesus stands still. He stands still. Let me cut across the field. Jesus stands still. He's hindered by his hurt. He's so hindered by his hurt, and it hurts so bad that he hollers for help. Thirdly and finally this morning, would you consider with me his hour of healing? His hour of healing. His hour of healing. Would y'all say that with me? His hour of healing. Say it again. His hour of healing. One more time. His hour of healing. We cut across the field. We're trying to find my exit. Here it is. Jesus stands still. Now, why do I believe Jesus stands still today? I believe Jesus stands still because Bartimaeus calls the right name. I believe I believe Jesus stands still because Bartimaeus calls out the right name. Now, Richie, this is all a blessing, but if they don't shout, I need you to shout with me. The text says, as he came to Jericho, came out of Jericho, there was a man by the name of Bartimaeus sitting by the highway side begging. He heard that it's Jesus of Nazareth passing by. He cries out, Jesus, son of David. Try it again. Chris, Richie didn't shout. I need you to shout. At the beginning, they say it's Jesus of Nazareth. He hollers out, Jesus, son of David. Little, what's your son name? McCoy. The text says it's Jesus of Nazareth. But Bartimaeus cries out what? Jesus, son of David. Perhaps you're not shouting yet because you don't understand what he's saying. Can't nothing good come out of Nazareth. Nazareth is the hood. Don't nothing good come out of it. What's the hood around here? Old City. Why you hit it throw your hand up like that? I got you, Doc. I got you. He said wrong city. What child is this? Let me meet with you after church. Look at mom and them now. Point them out. Let me see. Who child is this? Oh, y'all don't want to raise your hand now. A minute ago, y'all was real proud of me. That's my boy. Who child is that? That's Stella boy. We don't have to meet now, church. You good, buddy. You good. He said, Rose City, man. It's rough around here. Watch this. We cool, boss. He don't even hear me. Cool. Right. You gonna walk with me through the streets, all right? We gonna meet Rose City because you speak the language, all right? Yeah. All right. There are some people that only saw him as Jesus of Nazareth, where he come from. That's Mary and Joseph's boy. And they figure because he getting somewhat popular, perhaps we can get on the bandwagon, Sister Barbara, and ride along with him. But this blind man sees not only where he comes from, but sees all the way down through history. Sees all the way down through history. Calls him Jesus, thou son of David, the one literally that we've been looking for. I need you to fix my situation. I gotta quit. Here it is. I got 3 minutes left. It says, Jesus stood still, commands him to come. Hey, man, I wish I had time to deal with all this. It's all right. No, we're going to cut across the field. Y'all come back next week. I'm going to talk about another blind man. Come back next week. I'll take my time next week. Watch this. We're getting ready to get out of here. Stand still. Stand still. Tell them Go get him, bring him. Watch what happens when the blind man gets in front of him. Sister Jake, he says, what you want me to do for you? When he gets in front of him, I think I'm in verse 50. Jesus asked the question, what wilt thou that I should do unto thee? Sister James, he literally says, what do you want me to do for you? I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I've been sitting by the highway side thinking, I've been crying to the top of my lungs. Jesus, have mercy on me. But bring me to you. And Jesus, when he gets there, what you want me to do for you? I've been crying. I've been hollering to the top of my lungs. When I get in front of you, the only thing you got to ask me is, what you want me to do for you? Isn't it obvious? Everybody can't handle being healed. Jesus is literally asking him, is this what you really want? I know y'all getting this kind of preaching, huh? Is this what you really want? If I heal you, I have no more excuses. What everybody cries for sometimes really ain't what they want. Do you really want what you're asking? Because if I give it to you, you don't have any more excuses to beg. What would you really do if you could just get loose? Right, can I have 10 minutes? Can I? I don't want to leave y'all there. Can I tell you this? He answers the question before Jesus asked it. Some of y'all looking like, come on, man, you can't. He answers the question before it's even asked. Watch where you see that at. Go back to verse 49. Watch this. Verse 49. Verse 49. And Jesus stood still and commanded him to be called. And they called the blind man, saying unto him, be of good comfort, rise. He called him, verse 50. And he, casting away his garment, rose and came to Jesus. Wait a minute. I just read answer. Some of y'all ain't shouting. And he, casting away his garment, rose and came to Jesus. And he, casting away his garment, rose and came to Jesus. The coat is the answer. Why? Is what the coat represents. The coat represented number one, his status in society.
Yes, sir.
Every man had a coat.
Yes, sir.
Rich men had coats, poor men had coats, servants had coats, lords of the house had coats. You could tell who a man was just by looking at the type of coat
Yes,
he
sir.
wore.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So literally, it was his status. But not only was it his status, it was also his safety. It kept him covered from the elements. It kept him warm in the wintertime, cool in the summertime. It was his safety. So not only was it his status, not only was it his safety, but it was also his security. Literally, it was the only thing that belonged to him.
Yes, sir.
It's the only thing that he could say, that's mine right there. When Jesus says, go get him and bring him here, what does he do? He throws away his status. He throws away his safety. He throws away his security because he says, I'm going to see. I'm throwing away everything that makes me who I am just because I want to see. Literally, when Jesus says, what do you want me to do for you? He says, God, I've already thrown everything away just because I want to see. What are you willing to sacrifice today? Just so you can see. What would you do if you could just get loose today? Some of us, the sacrifice of seeing is worth the suffering of being blind. I'd rather suffer being blind than make a sacrifice so I can see. I can't leave you right there. Jesus gives the man his sight. He says, go your way, your faith has made you whole. But watch what happens, watch what happens. Not done. The man is hard-headed. Jesus tells him to go your way. And the text closes and says, and he followed Jesus. He hard-headed. And Cameron, you know where Jesus went, don't you? He left Jericho and went to Jerusalem. He left Jerusalem and went to the garden. He left the garden and went from judgment hall to judgment hall. He left judgment hall and went to Calvary. He left Calvary and went to the grave. From the grave, Bartimaeus followed him. Every step of the way. Being with Jesus is worth the sacrifice just so you can see. What would you do today if you could just get loose? What can God expect of you? If he takes away your handicap, what will you give back to him? You can just get loose. If you're here today, you're not a child of God, we offer Christ to you by faith. Being repentant believer that he is the Son of God. We'll baptize you today for the remission of your sins. You're here today and you're standing in the need of prayer. There's some things that are holding you back that you need to be freed from. We want you to come today. You need a church home. You've already been saved, but you're looking for a place for your seed to grow. I want you to come today. Whatever it is, surrender to Jesus and watch how he shifts your life. Watch how he changes things in your life. Here today, you need to come. Would you come right now as we stand and as we sing? Give myself away, away. I give myself away, so you can use. No, I give myself away. Yes, away, Lord. I give myself away, so you can you? Here I am, here I am. Oh, here I stand. Lord, my life is in your hands. Lord, I'm longing to see your desire revealed in me. So Lord, I give myself away. Come on, let that be your prayer today when you come away, Lord. I give myself away. You may be seated, but you can still come. Come on, will you come? Lord, I give myself away. Lord, I give myself away. So you can take my heart, take my life, as a living sacrifice. All my dreams, all my plans, Lord, I'm in your hands. Come on, we got time for you. It's prayer time. Will you come? I give myself away. Come on, will you come? I give myself away. So you. Come on, we got time for you. Will you come? Oh Lord, I give myself away. Yes, away. Lord, I give myself away. So you can use me. And we say yes. We say yes. We say yes. Yes, Lord. Yeah. Come on, everybody sing. We say yes. We say yes. Oh, we say yes. Lord, we say yes. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Lord, we say yes. We say yes. Lord, we say yes. Yes, Lord. Come on, everybody, lift your voice. Lord, I know we say yes. Yeah, we say yes. Lord, we say yes, Lord, yes, Lord, yes, Lord, yes, Lord, yes, Lord, yes, Lord, yes, Lord. We say yes. Lord, we say yes. Whatever you want me to do, Lord, I'll say yes. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. We say yes. We say yes. Lord, we say yes. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. One more time, everybody lift your voice. We say yes. Yeah, we say yes. We say yes. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. We say yes. We say yes. Yes, Lord. Right here. Give myself away. Give myself away. Yeah. Away. Lord, I give myself away. So you. One more time, I give myself. Yes, I do. Away. Lord. right here I give myself away. Hallelujah. To a marvelous message and experience, let the church sing hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Good morning. We have Sister Tammy Cameron came down this morning. She's asking for prayer for traveling grace today as she traveled to visit family in Cersei. And she also asking for prayer for safety